don't do it, and the kids don't learn. So I always talk about the $6 Million Man, which was a television program. You know the $6 Million Man? Where they put all these things in them. We know what to do with your kids. We have the technology. We have the science. But we don't have the money. You are the resource. You could do it. But if you don't do it, nobody can. That's my $6 Million Man type of thing. We can do it. We know how to do it. We know what to do. If you listen to your teachers and do those things. Now, I'm not talking about an untrained teacher. I'm talking about teachers who have a proper degree and proper experience with kids with Down syndrome. So some families are telling me in some schools they're hitting kids with Down syndrome if they don't do the right thing. That's inappropriate. There's no research that says that should be done. If I hit kids because they're not doing the right thing or they're not learning, what happens when they're 30 years old? What do they want to do when you don't do what they want? They want to hit you back. That's what they learn. Hitting kids is never the best way. Cruelty doesn't do it. Yes? Okay, good question. If a child is in special education and they have kids with Down syndrome, intellectual disabilities, autism, etc., that's what we do. Again, it's a cost-benefit thing. If you come to our school, 52% of the children now have autism. I have about 5 children who have autism and Down syndrome. We have a lot of kids with Down syndrome, but we have a range of other disabilities. Because we have a large staff, people know how to train those kids, and they can be taught in a group because we can match them up by ability. So the beauty is sometimes some of our kids with autism are verbal. So they provide models for the kids with Down syndrome, you see? That works very well for us because we can use the different strengths of some kids, and we can put them together in nice groups, and that usually works out fine for us.
Yes.
We are not teaching kids to be mathematicians. In our school, you'll find the kids all have basic communication. Most of them have learned or are learning to regulate their emotions. The primary emphasis is on independent daily living skills and social skills. So our kids, when you come in, will say hi to you. They'll shake your hand. If they're giving you a tour around the school, they will ask you if you need a toilet. Those that are capable of that. Some can have a conversation with you, some can use the internet, etc. See, we have all of those things. We have a boy in the school who has autism. He fixes the other kids' computers. They watch him do that. They learn what he does. So we get the kids with Down syndrome who watch him fix the computers, and they learn, oh, the first thing he does if it's not working is turns it off. He shuts it down and starts up. They're teaching each other. So we don't have any problem with that. Are there other programs that have just kids with Down syndrome? Yes. Are there programs that have just kids with autism? Yes. We have a combination. But for the most part, they come together. So if you go to an autism school in Australia, they stop at grade 5. You have to find another school, and they're not ready for mainstream, so these kids come to our school. Most kids with Down syndrome in Australia go into early intervention, and then they do 2 or 3 years of mainstream school. But what happens is about grade 3, what happens is the curriculum changes, and they're required to be more independent. So grade 3, we get a great influx of students with disability who haven't coped at mainstream school, and they come to us. Some kids who come to our school with Down syndrome have Down syndrome and autism, have Down syndrome and hearing loss, Down syndrome and visual impairment, Down syndrome and cerebral palsy, a whole series of extra things. But I try and encourage the families, get your early intervention, do a year or 2 at mainstream school, see how it works. But remember now, many of those kids also, if you have Down syndrome and you go to a mainstream school, your school is given between $12,000 and could be as much as $50,000 $500 billion to support you. So you can hire a speech therapist or a special educator to support the classroom program. They don't become the teachers in the school. What they are is people who support the teacher and they train the people there. You see what happens? We like the kids with disabilities in mainstream schools, but we have to have that extra money because then we hire people like at Angie's group to come in and teach the teachers what to do. And that's what I do a lot of. I go to the mainstream schools. Almost all of my kids with Asperger's are in mainstream schools, and I go in and I help set up a program and work with the teachers so that they understand how to deal with the behaviors, etc. So it's a little bit different. That can't last forever. It's too costly. The government's already saying they can't afford to keep funding kids with disabilities. It costs way too much money. So how long that will continue, I don't know. Good question. Did I answer it?